this week.
Right now.
Segue right now. AEW All In. That's coming up this weekend. Is that Saturday or Sunday? Somebody correct me.
You had to ask. I think it's Saturday.
Saturday would be the 24th.
24th. Yeah.
Hang on. No, I can't.
I'm looking it up.
All right. That's why we have the
Sunday the 25th.
Okay. Sunday the 25th. All in Wembley Stadium. Now listen, we're not going to go through and analyze each and every match because we're running behind on time here. And honestly, I don't have much to add to the conversation. So here's what we're going to do. If I'm being honest, I'm going to run through the card. We're going to pick a couple things that stands out. And then we're going to get out of here. All right. For the AEW World Championship versus career, it is Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. For the AEW American Championship, MJF versus Will Ospreay. The Women's Championship is on the line. Toni Storm and Mariah May. The TBS Championship on the line in a dream match. Mercedes Moné versus Dr. Britt Baker. The TNT Championship is on the line in a coffin match. Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. Chris Jericho defends the FTW Championship one last time against Hook. The Tag Team Championship in a triple threat match, the Young Bucks defend against FTR and the Acclaimed. The Trios titles on the line, the Patriarchy against the House of Black. There's a Casino Gauntlet match that's happening. Probably some more matches that are going to get added this week. But Andy, that is quite a loaded card. Almost every match is for a championship. What stands out to you?
The main one that stands out to me is probably AEW's best story right now. Probably one of the best stories they've ever told. And that's Toni Storm and Mariah May. Like, that story has been building for a long time. And, you know, the turn that we saw a couple weeks ago with Mariah was the perfect setup for this. To now, when we go to Wembley, you know, I think the crowd's going to be split down the middle. I think they're going to boo Mariah because they're supposed to. But I wouldn't be shocked if Mariah doesn't come out with that title as well.
Rory, what stands out to you, man?
Andy took my first pick. So if I'm going anywhere else, I think the biggest thing for me is going back to what I was talking about. There's always a chance, and Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship, a title that Danielson has gone on record saying he doesn't want. But here we are, main event of All In London and Wembley Stadium. And also, it could very well be Bryan Danielson's last match. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but I will say AEW did a fantastic job on their video package with him the other day, kind of doing their career retrospective to Green Day's Good Riddance. It was beautifully done. And they're at least setting everything up for this to possibly be a retirement for one of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
And how could you not want to watch? How could you not want to watch this and say either one of the greatest wrestlers living today and ever, either he's going to be the top champion in this promotion or he's not going to be around at all anymore. And all right, I'm sold.
Yeah. I mean, he's currently working without a contract. He said that in an interview this past week. He has not been contacted by any other companies. He wants to remain with AEW in some capacity, whether he's wrestling or not. Originally, it looked like that 2024 was just going to be the end of his full-time career, but he has also said, Andy, that he is looking probably at neck surgery before the end of the year. So it seems like all signs point to this is it. But as we saw with Sting when he retired, now they're not billing this as Bryan's retirement match. It's just if he loses, he retires. As we saw with Sting in his last match, he walked away with the tag team championship. Andy, is there any way that Tony Khan books Bryan Danielson to win this match and it still is his final match? He walks away with the AEW championship.
Yes. there is the scenario where that happens for sure. I honestly, like, this is the coin toss of the night for me because And like not just like from a prediction perspective, but like as a wrestling fan, I love Swerve and I love what he's done with the world title. I think he's had some ups and downs and some really great moments, not so great moments. The feud with him and Hangman has been fantastic, and I'm loving the story they're telling with that. But then the other side of me is like Bryan Danielson is in a lot of ways one of, if not the greatest wrestlers of all time in ring. And I don't want his career to end. Like I just want him to wrestle forever and ever and ever and ever. Because when he's 80, he'll probably be better than like 90% of the roster anyway. So I don't know what I want to have happen. I just know I will be on the edge of my seat for the entire hour that this match will probably be. Because it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good as well. And I'm not an AEW fan. And everybody that listens to this podcast knows that. But I think this match will be really, really good. Here's the thing that stands out to me is the American Championship. And I use those loose quotes. MJF defending against Will Ospreay. Rory, Andy, and I have talked a whole lot on this podcast about how it seemed like all signs pointed to AEW All In London being the crowning moment for Will Ospreay, the hottest free agent coming in just not very long ago. But instead of the world championship, he's going for the American championship against MJF. Now, I know MJF is a staple of the company, so he gets this win back after we saw the 59-minute match on Dynamite a couple of weeks ago. He gets this win back. Okay, it's a big win, but is it the moment for Will Ospreay in London that we all seem to think he should get?
Well, of course it's not. But also, if you knew that this was what you had down the line for Bryan Danielson, then there's a time and a place for everybody. And we know that All In is going to Dallas next year, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to run Wembley again, or they're at least going to go back to the UK again in the future. And Will Ospreay is easily at the top of his game right now and has so many more years left to give, and can easily be a top champion at any point, just essentially whenever he wants, right? He can just say, give me the world title now, and I'll run with this, and I'll make everybody millions, and we'll be the hottest thing going because I'm one of the best wrestlers alive. And so I think this is one, and also we know that he is a team player like no other. He even said, I wanted to challenge Swerve for the world title and lose to him because I wanted to show that everybody should lose to the world champion. And that to me is a guy that has has limitless potential in terms of star power and influence and everything else, but also understands that he's part of an ecosystem and you have to respect that. And he knows that, I'm in Wembley and that's amazing. And honestly, that could be the match that starts off the All In Wembley, at least the main portion of the card, right? Because there's the two most important matches are the first one and the last one, and so you're going to have that world title in the main event. So why not get Will and MJF to get that crowd hot and alive right from the beginning, especially if you expect Will Ospreay to win, which I kind of do, and then that erupts this gigantic crowd here in the stadium and keeps the ball rolling.
Andy, I think Rory hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, the fact that he is such a team player and is not a Will Ospreay first kind of guy, but like what's the best for this company right now, shows a lot. And I gotta tell you, I think this match is going to be amazing because it's Will Ospreay, and I'm pretty sure I could put my dog in there with Will Ospreay and get a fantastic match out of it because that's just who he is.
2 stars at least.
Your dog a working dog?
Oh no, my dog will just like run around the ring and still it'll be amazing. But the thing I'm looking forward to the most, I cannot wait for MJF's entrance in this match because I think we're getting a Apollo Creed style. Like I think it's going to be full of all America, everything. Because I don't know if you've seen any of his interviews that he's done while he's been over there in the UK. He's in a red, white, and blue suit, like just talking all about like nothing but America. It's the perfect MJF character right now. And so I am very excited for this. I agree. I think that we are going to get Will Ospreay to win and get back that title. I also wouldn't be shocked if Don Callis turned on Will Ospreay and we kind of, MJF aligned himself with Don Callis in a way. And, now Will Ospreay's by himself able to go after bigger titles or whatever the case is. But I think it's going to be really interesting.
I think it's going to be really interesting. We will recap some of that on next week's podcast. So make sure that you are subscribed again wherever you find the podcast and on our YouTube channel